Hey everyone, it's time to do our buoy 10 update here for Saturday, August 19th. Yesterday we found our snook pretty easy, especially first thing in the morning. There was a really good bite down near buoy 10 in Owako, but that was yesterday. And if you recall in yesterday's update, I mentioned that the current was moving a little bit south to north, coming from the Oregon side, pushing up to the Washington side. Well, today that was flipped. That current, along with this north wind, man, that north wind was just ripping all day long. So I had the face buff up, everything all covered up as best I could, but it was just pushing everybody's boat down to the south, down the Oregon side, and that made it really difficult to fish, especially on that incoming trying to nose in. So it was a little bit of a grind. I thought we were going to just start whacking them left and right, because right at low slack we put our lines in, had a bait strip, hooked one, lost him, and then bang, double on kings, we're money ahead. Well, after that, I don't think we touched a fish. Well, wait a minute. We released a wild coho out near buoy 10 and then just kept on grinding away. We probably didn't hook another fish until, gosh, 11:30, right in there. But at that point, we jumped up over to the Washington side up near the church hole, followed that tide up, and got all the way up above the bridge and finished out the day above the bridge right at the tide change. And then came in because, again, that wind was just brutal, and it gets way worse on the outgoing tide with the wind pushing against it. It just lumps up bad. So what worked today? Just about everything that we caught once the tide started coming in was shallow. We had quite a few bites from the fort all the way up to shipwreck on shallow water flats, less than 20 feet of water. And so I would say that the red flashers, the red October, did best, but it's the first rod to the fish, and when the water column is so condensed, the first rods to the fish tend to catch most of them. It's just the way it works. If you find an active, aggressive fish, that's the one you're going to catch on the bow rods. So I don't think it was necessarily the flasher color, because we had the chartreuse flashers in the back, and they got bit okay, but I really think it was because those were just the first rods to the fish. I will say that I've noticed two things here in the last 3-4 days. One is water temperature. Now these fish, they're always trying to associate to some sort of structure, be that a current, you talk about rips all the time, so that current seam, a break line in depth from say 20 to 25 or 12 to 15, 40 to 50, some sort of ridge line, or a temperature break. And it seems like as soon as I get into less than 62 degree water or more than 66, 67 degree water, that bite dies. Now, that isn't always the case, because sometimes in the outgoing tide we do pretty well in that 68 to 70 degree river water. Those fish start to flush up. But for the most part, if I get in that cold ocean water, that 58 to 61, no go. When I get up in that 63 to 66, now we're catching fish. So that's just what I've noticed here the last few days. So today I kind of jumped around till I found that warmer water, and the second I did, and it happened to be up shallow today just because that current was moving around, the second I got in that warmer water, we were catching fish again. The other thing that I've noticed is that, I've played around with scent a little bit. And if you guys recall, I started playing around with scent with garlic specifically a few weeks ago, or last week, I guess, and it worked out pretty well, but it wasn't consistent enough. And honestly, I wanted to keep on trying it before I come out and say, yes, this does help. Well, between yesterday and today, I eventually went to every single rod having garlic scent on it. As soon as I got in that warmer water, to 63 degree water plus, I grabbed the garlic scent and used it. So I just ordered up a bunch more because my bottle is just about empty. And I'm using the Procure Super Sauce, the garlic. It's really easy to find because it's so bright yellow. But man, I'll tell you what, I'm getting made fun of by other guides down here because I'm getting phone calls. Man, your boat stinks. Yeah, it does, but guess what? What I've been doing is I've been opening up the gill plate on the anchovy and then just tucking a little bit of this inside the gill plate, closing it down. It pushes up inside the gills, and then when it's spinning, it's slowly leaching out. So using the super sauce, the garlic flavor, I'm honestly not a big garlic guy. I like more natural scents, but I've kind of played around with some of the other ones, and the garlic is just flat out catching fish, and you're getting mean, aggressive bites. We had one fish today almost spool us. It had 170 feet of line out when it bit at 16 on the line counter. They are biting that garlic extremely aggressive. And I like that because that gets those hooks driven home a little bit better. So whether it helps you or not, honestly, I don't even know if it's really helping us. Maybe it's a fluke, but I'm going to be using it more and more just because it's not hurting. That's what I always say about sand. I don't know if it really helps, but I know it doesn't hurt. So yeah, give that a shot. Maybe just put it on one rod, but it's been working for me for the last few days. So actually last week or so, and today got to a point where I put it on every rod. North wind again was brutal today. It sounded like the bite was really scattered. We're getting into bigger tides, but that also means we're starting to see more coho. So maybe these next couple of days we'll start seeing a few more coho, and that will kind of increase our bites per day, because usually those coho are fairly active and aggressive, and you mix in a few Chinook, it makes for a great day. So again, we're coming into bigger tides. That's going to probably slow down the Chinook bite, but hopefully we'll bring in a bunch more coho that we can play around with. That's our update for today. We'll see you guys later. Try some of the garlic if you want. It's helping me. It might help you too. All right, guys, we'll see you later.